Hello, I'm Kim from Pilates in Pyjamas, and today's workout is all about mobility in the upper body, so shoulders, upper back and the neck area. Now if you have it, a thickish Pilates block is really useful, and you can put a towel on top if you need it a little thicker. We want something that's going to give you the ability to lie on your side with the head fairly flat so it's not coming across at an angle. If you don't have one, grab a pillow or a cushion or anything you can do just to keep your head in alignment when we're on the floor. I'm going to put those to one side. If you'd like to come down onto the mat, we'll get started. Coming down, lying on your back. Let's think about our posture on the floor to start with. So I want you to have your feet hip width apart. So start with the feet together, toes out, heels out. Try and make sure the feet are evenly spaced if you can and pointed forward. Relax the arms and shoulders into the floor and make sure you've got a little bit of gap under the lower back so you've got the neutral spine. Have a quick look up, check your knees aren't dropping in together. And I'm going to ask you to start by bringing the arms to the side and then both up, hands facing each other towards the ceiling. And what I'm going to get you to do is take one arm towards the floor above your head and the opposite arm in the other direction. So this is getting some mobility in the shoulders. Now if you're really just concentrating on the arms, just stay with the arms. If you want to make the exercise a little bit more meaningful and give yourself some lower body flexibility at the same time, then you can take the opposite leg away, trying to keep the pelvis and the middle back as still as possible. More important here to do the exercise properly, so try and keep those shoulder blades relaxed and just get that movement through the shoulders. Just go as far as is comfortable. You don't have to touch the floor. If you can only go part way, that is fine. We're just looking to improve that movement a little bit more each time you do the workout. Okay, from there, I'm going to ask you to take your arms out straight to the sides and then bend up at the elbow. So the hands are still facing. Your elbows are about shoulder height, your shoulders are relaxed into the floor. And I'm going to ask you to concentrate on one arm at a time. You might want to sit up and have a quick look at what I'm doing here. We're going to take the hand again down towards the floor, getting rotation in the shoulder. Try and avoid lifting the elbow and go as far as is comfortable, and then taking it back in the other direction. Just getting some rotation in the shoulder. You may not be able to go all the way towards the floor either way. Just go as far as you can without lifting the shoulder off the ground. Now, one thing to be aware of here, I quite often see people bringing their hands in towards their body and out into a sort of W position at the top. Have a look, line yourself up with the side of your mat or whatever you can. Your hands should be parallel with the side of your body. Okay, let's go to the other arm so you can relax that one in if you want. Have a look, watch what you're doing. Taking that hand down as far as it comfortably goes. And back. Keep it nice and slow and controlled. I need to move my blocks out of the way. Watch you're not bringing your elbows down. We don't want to be like a bird's wings pulled in. You want to keep that arm out to the side. Really nice one here to do, if you can, is to line up with the wall. So if I move across a little bit here, I've got my elbow against the wall, is in line, and I can slide my hand along such that it is touching the skirting board at the back and at the front. So if you're in a position you can do that, that is great. Don't worry too much if you can't. Okay, relax. I'm going to move back a bit so I've got a bit more space either side. Again, be aware of your pelvis, watch your knees aren't dropping in. Arms are going straight up towards the ceiling again. Relax the hands. And I'm just going to ask you to stretch, reach up. So you're not bending the elbow, you're keeping those arms straight, and you're lifting from the shoulder blade. So think of lifting your shoulder blade off the floor and returning it to the mat. So we're working the shoulders in lots of different directions. Breathing out as you reach up, breathing in as you come back down. Moving your own speed, you don't have to do it fast. Listen to your body, and remember with all of these exercises, if it's uncomfortable, make it smaller, do less. And if it's really uncomfortable, stop. Okay, bring those hands back down. I'm going to come up to sitting now. So however is comfortable for you. If you've got tight hamstrings and it's uncomfortable, sit on that block or cushion. I'm quite comfortable sitting cross-legged, so I'm going to. If you prefer to stand or kneel for this, just make yourself comfortable. This is all about the upper body at the moment. I want you to take the hands up into a big V. So it's not here, it's nice and wide. And you're going to bring the elbows down into a W shape. So that bird wing that I was telling you not to do with the previous exercise, that's what we're aiming for. Now as you pull down, I want you to pull the arms back. Try not to arch your back, but squeeze those shoulder blades together and down the back, and then reach back up. This is a really good one to try and do in front of the mirror, because if you've got a mirror in front of you, you'll see if one arm is higher than the other, if you're stronger one side than the other. We really want to try and get both sides the same, trying to keep it as even as possible. A couple more if you can. If that's beginning to ache too much, then give it a rest, shake it out. You can either join back in or just try and do more the next time you do this workout. Okay. A little circle, shake them out. Now, this next exercise, I want to stretch the side of the body. If you're sitting on a block, that's still fine. Those of you that can, we're going to come into a mermaid type position. So I've got sort of a hurdler's stretch on one side and the foot on the knee the other. I hope you can see that nicely. Taking the hand down, the other arm comes up behind the ear, reach up and stretch over. So watch that you're keeping that shoulder back and in alignment, not coming forward. So we're in this position. Think of reaching away rather than over. And I want you to be feeling that stretch through here, but you're also going to be feeling it down through the body. Okay, let's come back and do exactly the same the other side. So arm up behind the ear, reach up and then stretch. You're not going to get to go as far this time. And I'm going to take it a little bit further when we go back to the other side. If it's too much for you, if your arms aren't strong enough, then please stay with the previous version. Taking the hand down, arm up. I'm going to come right up and stretch. So I'm feeling that stretch a little bit more intensely. And again, try and keep that arm back. Watch you're not leaning forward. Watch you're looking straight forward rather than down towards the floor. And release. Taking the knees down to the other side. Now this can be done, if anyone has trouble with their knees, you can do this in a seated position. It's not quite so intense, but you will get a workout, a bit of a stretch. So this is more about stretch than exercise. If you can keep the hip down, that's great, but if you need to lift it up on this side, I'm not too worried. As long as you're feeling that stretch, I'm getting a lovely stretch through my shoulders there. You may feel it in your waist. Wherever you're tightest is where you're going to feel this workout. Okay, and release. Other arm again, up by the ear, palms facing the way we're going. Think of reaching up and then stretching over. A lovely stretch down through the, or under the arm, in the arm, back of the armpit. Oh yes. I love that stretch. Coming back to the other side again, you can either just take it here, or if you're able, come up and stretch it further. Think of reaching to sort of the corner of the room. Keep looking forward. Keep that head in alignment. Lovely. Now, if you'd like to grab that block that I suggest you had, or your pillow, and you're going to have your head on the front of the block, we're going to roll back onto it. So you need to place the block, if you're on a mat, place it to the back half of your mat. If you need it a little bit thicker, or you want a bit of padding, you can stick a towel on top. I find for me that a small hand towel gives me the perfect position. We want to be as if we're sitting down, so we want 90 degrees, 90 degrees. You're going to have your head on the front of the block, shins in line with the front of your mat, fingertips touching, back lined up with lined up with your mat. You're not going to be the back of the mat, but towards the back. Fingertips touching, breathe in, and as you breathe out, you're going to open up. Keep the knees locked together, open up, and take the arm back as far as you can. Now, it's not about touching the floor behind you. It's again about getting a stretch. Lovely stretch across the chest area. A nice rotation of the back. If you've got osteoporosis or you're concerned about it, then this is a rotation exercise that is probably best either avoided or done less intensely. So if you've been told you can do this exercise but you have osteoporosis, you might then let your knees drop to get some mobility but not to put strain on the bones. Coming back. But if you're generally healthy, this is a lovely one. It opens up across the chest. It really gives you some extra space in the lung area. Breathing out as you come back. As we're coming back, we're compressing the lungs, so we want to try and breathe the air out, breathe in as you open up. And then you're going to roll onto your back again. Okay. Best to now move that block away for a moment, just to keep your head in a better position posture-wise. If you need the towel underneath, that's fine, but we really don't want to be more than about an inch, 2-3 centimetres off the ground, keeping the chin in alignment. So from here, just going to do something a little bit different. We're going to move away from the upper body and just give ourselves a little bit of a back massage. Just in case you're feeling a little bit tight from any of those exercises. Okay, we're going to come up to sitting now. Take your blocks and place them the other end, ready for the next exercise. I've got another exercise first. I'm going to come up to kneeling. You can stay seated, but you're going to see what I'm doing a little bit better if I'm up higher. So I want your hands pointing forward, as if you're holding a tray. Try and keep the hands no further together than the width of your body. So think about holding a tray, and you're going to open out. The movement comes from the shoulders, so as you open out, it's opening out through the shoulders. We call this dumb waiter. You got to think that you've got a tray, or should we say 2 small trays, that you're trying to keep balanced, opening out through the shoulders. Try and keep the movement each side about the same. Now try with the hands pointing down. So you're moving with your breath. Try and keep those abdominals in if you can. I know this is all about upper body, but we do want to try and keep our core engaged and keep breathing throughout. Now I'm going to take this into the Cleopatra exercise and alternate the hands. So we're going to open out into dumb waiter and then reach out as far as is comfortable. You might be able to straighten your arms. You might find it gets a little bit uncomfortable part way. Stop when you need to. Coming back in. Coming back to parallel. Flip the hands. And the same thing, elbows are tight and then reaching out. Now I'm coming out quite nicely to the side. You might find that you come out in front of you slightly more, that's fine. As long as you're getting that rotation in the shoulders, as you come out, you're squeezing the shoulder blades together, reaching out. And each time you come to the front, try and remember to flip your hands. Not the end of the world, it just changes the action on the muscles slightly so that you get a little bit more mobility Beautiful. Okay, we're going to come down on the other side now to do the arm openings. So if you remember, we want it as if we're sitting in a chair, then 90 degrees at the hips, 90 degrees, head at the front of the block, so that when you roll back, your head stays on the block, and as you roll back, take the head with you, open out. I'm a little close to the wall here, so you may find you can go further, but don't twist the hand. We really want to be opening up across the chest here. It's all about stretching across the front of the chest. Keep the knees together so you're getting some lovely rotation in the middle spine. I'm just going to do 2 more of those. Okay, coming back up to sitting, I'm going to finish the workout off with a couple of arm stretches. So again, if you're happier sitting on your block, sit on your block. Doesn't matter how your knees are. Try and keep the weight evenly between both sides of the body though. So you cross your legs or sit up like this. You could also sit on a chair if you wish. I'm going to get you to take your right arm onto your left shoulder. Just let it slide over as you push back from the elbow, and you're going to feel that stretch across your shoulder. Just hold that for a few moments. It is the same stretch. You might see people doing it like this. That's fine too. Just by keeping the hand on the shoulder, you can be sure that you're getting the stretch in the right part of the shoulder muscle, that you've not dropped your arm too low. Let's take it to the other side. So hand onto the shoulder and just give a little stretch through that shoulder. Okay, you can stay with the same arm, take the arm up in the air, drop it down your back. I'm going to turn so you can see, you can stay where you are. And here you can push or pull, and if you're really flexible you can clasp the hands behind, but it's more important to get that little bit of support to make sure you feel that stretch through the back of the arm, the tricep muscle. Lovely. And release. Take it to the other arm. Comes up. Doesn't really matter which arm you did first as long as you do the same again. So either here, hold the elbow. It really depends on your flexibility as to which position you're going to do. One more. 2 more stretches, I think. Let's come in front with the hands. So as if you're going to hold a beach ball, I like to place my hands one on top of the other rather than interlace the fingers, just to keep the pressure off my knuckles. But whichever's good for you, you're going to pull away from you and then open the elbows out and drop the head. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to move forward. The position I'm in is like this, but I'm upright. I think you can see that better from this position. And I'm getting that lovely stretch across the middle of my back. And if you drop the head, stretches through the neck, taking the arms behind, palms together. Watch you're not sticking your bottom out, so pull your abdominals in, try and keep your posture nice and upright, and lift and squeeze shoulder blades together without sticking the chest out. Get a lovely stretch across the front of the chest. Lovely. We're going to do one more stretch. A lovely stretch for the neck. Drop the head down to one side. So we're going to take the head this way. Same arm that you're leaning towards comes and gently rests on your ear. So you're not pulling, you're just resting. This arm pulls down and away. So down and away. And you're going to feel that stretch. So keep looking forward, but with the head tilted. other side. So tilt the head to the side, try to keep looking forward. Hand comes over onto the ear and pull that arm down and away. Now, if you find that's really uncomfortable, you can just keep moving the arm and rotate. I like to keep mine still. That's comfortable for me. It's a beautiful stretch all down through this area, particularly if you've got a tight neck. Well done. Just give your neck a little bit of a loosening side to side. Let's take a deep breath in. I hope you enjoyed today's video. If you do, please subscribe to my channel and I'll see you in the next video. Bye for now.